Here from Create Your Future, and I want to do a video today on the three simple steps, or the few simple steps, how you can literally go from your reality right now to your desired reality like this. Manifestation is the easiest thing in the world. In fact, you're doing it every single second of every single day. There is no turning off of this. There's no choosing to manifest. There's no, I've been manifesting, then I stop. No. You're manifesting in every single second. In fact, your reality is always a depiction, always, of what's going on inside. Therefore, this should give you a lot of confidence in what I'm about to tell you. You have full control over who you decide to be every single day. So take a deep breath. Let's sink into these techniques I'm about to tell you, because this is how you're going to take radical responsibility through self-awareness in changing who you are today. Let's get out a piece of paper for step one. The piece of paper and a pen is going to be vital, because self-awareness is going to be the first point of reference we have when manifesting consciously a new reality. This is a relationship, this is money, this is your life. And for the sake of this exercise, I want you to choose one. I want you to choose one area of your life that you are radically trying to change, and you're going to use this for this exercise. Now, the reason I said 3 steps, because there really isn't many steps to this. I've had people say 2 steps, 3 steps, few steps. Let's keep it to 2 to 3, because I think anything that takes more than that is radically complicated. And manifestation in itself, like I've said, is so simple. And with Neville Goddard's work, I want you to simplify it even more. Step 1, we're getting out that piece of paper and we're getting out that pen. You're taking your scenario, whether that's your relationship, your money, like whatever we're saying, whatever the one thing is that you're really frustrated with at the moment, that you're trying to get a desired outcome from. I want you to write down how you feel about it. I want you to write down your identity around that one thing. For example, that may be, it's never me, I'm never chosen, it never works out for me, they never apply to me, I'm never good enough, I've been alone for so long, or I have to work so hard for money never stays in my bank account, money's never around me, I never get the opportunities. What is your identity around this thing? And I want you to write it. I want you to take some time, maybe play some nice music, breathe into the exercise, and spend some time here in this one technique. I want you to really understand, what is your relationship to this thing right now that's happening in your life. This may make you feel emotions, it may make you cry, it may make you feel some kind of way, and this is what we want, right? This whole exercise, we want you to start feeling, because taking radical responsibility and awareness for yourself means shifting yourself on an energetic level, which means a feeling level. The fact of the matter is, you've been thinking these thoughts and these identity thoughts, energy thoughts, right? Thoughts are energy, for so long that they have formed feelings, emotions, stories, and all of these are addictive to human beings, right? We get addicted to our emotional stories. They become rituals almost. They become an identity. They become who we are. And this is what we're getting rid of. On another piece of paper, I want you to take a minute and I want you to write down the intentions of what you want. And that may be, for example, the truth of the matter, we'll call it, which is, I am the God of my reality. My thoughts create every moment. I am the only one creating my reality. I am the universe. We're going to start with that one at the top of this new piece of paper. Okay, this is step 2. We're writing down the truth, which is, I am the creator. I am the God of my reality. I am the only one that creates through my thoughts. My thoughts create on a daily basis. And then I want you to write down the intentions for this new reality. Okay, ready? I am in a loving, committed, I intend to be in a loving relationship. I am always chosen. I am the one and only. whatever it is to fit your specific situation. In videos like this, it's quite difficult to give you specific intentions unless I'm doing a video specifically around intentions for something. So one-to-one coaching is a really, really good way to get specific intentions and mental diets written down for your specific situation. Because even if I was to give you intentions for, say, for example, money or a specific person, they will still be generic. And it's really best to sit with yourself or in a one-to-one coaching session where we can actually dive into your specific stories and your specific blocks and your specific whatevers, right? And that we can really dive into, okay, this is what we need to shift, right? So on this piece of paper, I want you to sit with yourself and think, what is it that I really, really, really intend to happen in this specific situation, this desired outcome? I want you to say out loud as well. I want you to imagine yourself, okay, what if it's traveling? What if it's I'm in this incredible 5-star hotel and I intend that I travel only business class all around the world, and I intend that I'm eating the best sushi in the world and drinking coconuts on the beach, and I intend that I have the best soul tribe friends and like-minded people around me, and we're affirming and intending all day long, and I intend that money flows effortlessly, and I intend that I have the relationships of my dreams, and I intend that I have really amazing photo shoots on the beach, and I'm like a Pinterest girly, and whatever it is that lights your soul on fire, I want you to write it down on this piece of paper. At the top of this piece of paper, we wrote down one thing, which was, I am the universe and my thoughts create. So whatever's on this piece of paper is God, is the truth, is you. And what was on this first piece of paper were the lies that you were living, the limitations that you were living up until this point. And I want you to listen to the choices of words that I just used to describe those. The lies and the limitations. You're a human being. So you literally came to Earth to experience what it's like to be limited. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. So therefore, you are limitless. In spirit, we are limitless. On this universe, as you being the universe on this earth, you're here to create and manipulate energy into creating anything that you desire. Anything. You could be a chef, you could be a dancer, you can be a millionaire, you could be a homeless person, you could be anything that you desire. But it's all down to who you choose to identify as and think as on a daily basis. This is why these two pieces of paper are so important to you. Because what did we write at the top of them? I am God and my thoughts create. I am the operant power of my reality. Okay, so even though this one may feel really, really, really real, we have to find a way now to let go of these stories. And this is why sitting with how you feel about it is really, really important. The triggers that come up are telling you what you are thinking. So if you write down one thing and you get triggered by it, you have a lot of feelings come up, and maybe you start crying, or maybe you have a lot of resistance to that one thing. Okay, well, what are the other thoughts you're having around that one thing? Maybe it breaks down to, well, I suck. It's never me. It'll never work for me. It works for somebody else, but never me. What's the frustration loop that's going around on this piece of paper? So technique number 3 is really understanding that your feelings are important in this process, because they're going to tell you the actual blocks you have around this sheet of limiting thoughts that we have just written down. So underneath any of them may be more thoughts, and we have to catch them, and we're going to catch them through feelings. Because if you're not able to feel into this reality here, in a sat, in a looped, like, what do we call them? Rampage of, like I just gave you right now, right? Rampage where you feel amazing and you feel connected to it and it feels amazing. And it's like money flows to me daily and it's easy and effortless. And I'm in the most amazing relationships of my life. And I'm traveling and I'm first class girly and I'm like amazingness, right? But if you cannot get to that feeling because you feel so blocked from believing this one so much, this is where we have to spend time here, because we really want to get to the bottom of what is keeping you in that loop. What's keeping you so identified with that loop? What's keeping you believing it to its core? And that's where there may be some thoughts that you haven't quite dived deep enough to get to. Like I gave you an example of, maybe they are, it never works for me. I've never been successful. I suck. There must be something wrong with me. there might be some extra things that we need to dive in and right? So just to recap really quickly, we're going to start with that one piece of paper where we write down the initial limitations that we're seeing in front of us, the situation that we want to change. Pick any situation, what it is. Maybe it's your entire reality, where you live, your money situation, your relationship situation, whatever it is. We're going to write down this piece of paper. On the next piece of paper, we're writing down, I am God and my thoughts create. I am the operant power. And we're going to write down the desired intentional reality that we're creating. Intentional reality creation. We're being intentional now, okay? So who is this version of you? What does she do? How does she think? What are the intentions that you are hoping to have? And I gave you some examples, right? I intend that I fly only first class around the world. I intend that money flows to me in thousands and thousands every single month. I intend that everything is easy and effortless and relationships flow and I am easy and flowy and everything comes to me with ease. An example, right? And then step number 3 is to feel into the reality. And if you're struggling to let go, if you're struggling to feel this one as real, and you're struggling to let go of this one, it's time to dive into the feelings as to why it's difficult and get to the bottom of some of these limitations, because often they're not just surface level. They are, there's a few deeper, but because we've gotten so used to not looking at our blocks and not looking blocks, it's probably the wrong word to use because it means that you're blocked. You're not blocked. You just really, really believe them, right? You just really have identified with them. And that's why we have one-to-one coaching. One-to-one coaching is where we really can understand why you're on the loop of frustration, why you're going around in circles in this area here, why you can't get out of the hamster loop and go over here. What we have to start doing is realizing that we can drop any story from this piece of paper like that. You can drop any story instantly at any time. But it takes you having the willingness to understand that you can and wanting to intentionally jump to this piece of paper. They are lies. They are not true. They're not the truth of who you are. There is no truth of who you are. You decide the truth of who you want to be. The only truth there is that you create your reality through energetics, through thoughts that you identify with and you become. So be intentional. Choose who you want to be, because you can be, do, and have anything in this world. You've literally come here to create. There's nothing that you cannot create. You are the one that decides how worthy you are. You are the one who decides that you are undeserving. You are the one that decides that you can't. You're the one that decides that you're stuck. You're the one that decides that you'll never have it. You're the one that decides that no one wants to marry you. You're the one that decides that money is hard to make. You're the one that decides that you're not a great dancer. You're the one that decides that you're not a great singer. You're the one. You. But you can also be the one that determines the opposite. You can be the one that determines that you are a millionaire and money just flows to you like water because it just is, you know, it just is. And you're the one that decides that you are loved upon and chosen and cherished, and people just bring you flowers on a Tuesday because you're beautiful and everyone loves you. People just gift you things and you're a wonderful, doted on, beautiful goddess queen, because you are. But you are the only one who can dictate that in your reality. So we really have to get to the bottom of why are you holding on to these stories? Why do you really want to fight for these limitations? Because you think it's true, right? And that's where one-to-one coaching, or even if you nail this on your own, love this for you. But one-to-one coaching is a really great way to really nail it. We're going to get you out of that loop. Let's go, and we're going to get you boop, over here. We're going to drop it, finally, by feeling it. Sometimes feeling it's messy. Sometimes it's, I didn't realize this hurt me so badly, right? But then when you meet that belief that you've been thinking for so long, belief is just a thought that you've been thinking and identifying with for so long, right? Sometimes when you meet that belief on this piece of paper with the truth of what is, tears come and it releases that easily. Now, I can't promise it's going to be that easy for everybody all the time, but often that's what happens. Because you don't need this one anymore. You don't need to believe this anymore. For some reason, for so long, it like protected you, it kept you safe, it gave you a narrative, it made you fit in with your parents, made you fit in with your friends, it made you fit in with reality or whatever. But now you know more. Now you're too big for that world. Now you can't go back anymore. You know too much. You're here. You're here watching our content. I see you. You know too much. You can't go back here anymore. What's going to happen is you're going to realize your power. You realize the truth. You realize that you can have and do and be anything in this entire world that you choose to be. You realize that you can have the best relationship in the entire world. You realize that you can be chosen, doted on, and adored. You realize that you can choose to believe that everybody is just blowing up your phone all day, every day. You can choose to believe that you are cherished like a queen, a goddess, queen of the entire world. You can choose to be a calm, collected goddess. And this drops like a stick, right? And it often leads by tears. So don't be afraid of feeling. Don't be afraid of emotion. Don't be afraid of looking at your thoughts, feelings, and actions. You have got to become radically self-aware if you want to change your reality. If you don't become radically self-aware, you're going to be the one that shows up every week to a new video thinking, but why is it not working for me? I'm affirming all day long. I have the intentions. Because your world can only ever be a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So if you don't let it go and start practicing something new, if you don't clear out the cobwebs by getting radically self-aware with what's actually going on inside these cobwebs, we're not going to be able to make massive changes. And this is why the paper technique of writing it down, pen and paper, is going to really help this process. The more honest you can be, is the faster you will change your life. Your life is a show of how honest you are with yourself. That's all it is. How honest are you being with yourself? What are you thinking? What are you thinking that's making you feel that way? What are you doing that's making you feel that way? What are you doing that's backing up those thoughts? What are you thinking, then feeling, then doing? Then a loop, right? And then you're thinking it again because then it does this and then it affirms this. But of course it's going to affirm that because what you think creates. So of course it's going to affirm itself. This is why we have got to get really aware, incredibly aware. Tell yourself the story that you would tell me if you want a coaching call with me. This is what's happening. This is that. This is this. And you're going to get very aware of your belief system, of your stories, of your thoughts, what you're telling yourself. And as soon as you're ready, as soon as you see how ridiculous it is, you will drop it. But remember, what you make matter is going to turn to matter. It's going to be pushed out. So don't make it matter. Let it drop. And if you need help getting from here to here and letting it be your pushed out reality, I am your girl. Book a one-to-one session. I can't wait to hear all about it. Write down your successes below, and I will see you on a call soon. Happy manifesting.